Fooly Cooly, a sexually charged show about love, robots, interdimensional portals, and a surreal approach of nonsensicalness, is also a show that just uses those things as a front while it delivers a coming-of-age tale, or perhaps an anti-coming-of-age tale, with its own unique blend of style, humor, and impact. Originally airing in the US on Adult Swim in 2003, Fooly Cooly brought us something weird and new that had many scratching their heads in confusion, and even today leaves audiences finishing the show for the first time wondering what just happened. It's a show I've personally shown to people who hated it and have had some who shrugged it off as a contemporary or abstract art project. Fooly Cooly's director, Kazuya Tsuramaki, even once said in an interview on Production IG's website, "I'm quite surprised to hear that Fooly Cooly, which has been criticized as being one of the most incomprehensible shows of all of Japanese anime, is being so favorably received by American fans." However, difficulty and comprehension should not be an important factor in Fooly Cooly. Created by Gainax and Production IG, Tsuramaki stated that they set out to break the rules of anime in making Fooly Cooly, and it did. By certain regards, Fooly Cooly should be seen as chaotic and a mess, and for some, it is. But that's okay, because tackling the topics of something like growing up can be messy. An allegory for adolescence, we see Naoto's journey into adulthood and the confusion it brings with topics like sexuality, identity, and even what it means to be an adult. His journey is fast-paced and leaves us, after only 6 episodes, but with more transitional cuts from one scene and setting to another than some full-length shows show in total. While you can watch any YouTuber talk about the symbolism and analogies that are encapsulated within Fooly Cooly, I think the visual and emotional response Fooly Cooly emanates is just as important and is often overlooked. Well, recently I watched Fooly Cooly for the first time in a few years, but this time I did something different. I watched it twice in a row. But I didn't just watch it twice in a row. Now, the first time I watched it normally, and then the second time I watched it without the show's vocals or any voice acting. I still had the sound effects and background ambience, and had the pillows playing in the background, but what I didn't expect it to still have was the emotional response the show gave me. As I've said, Fooly Cooly is a coming-of-age story with many different emotions on display, and while watching what I'll call my silent run of the show, I felt more like someone in my adolescence and the many different uncanny and melancholy feelings that growing up has than any other time I've felt when watching the show. The silent run of Fooly Cooly shows the brilliance of color and sound to convey emotion, and how gestures and characters can display a feeling without words. And while I'm not saying you should jump right into watching shows without the voice lines, that show me more to such a brilliant show than I previously would have noticed. Oftentimes it seems like the stories that find the most acclaim or build long-lasting niches are the ones that bring you ideas or meaning without handing it directly to you. Stories that have you thinking about the symbolic importance of what you just saw and how understanding or missing the symbolism in a show can be the deciding factor of how it affects your experience when watching it. Fooly Cooly is and will always be brilliant in that regard. An emotional experience like a music video you're watching the first time, or hearing a song that you connect with. Fooly Cooly is a brilliant piece of animation, but for me it's just as much a brilliant vehicle for emotion. Well, that's all I'm going to say about Fooly Cooly Season 1, but there are more seasons to talk about when it comes to this, and I just wanted to make something after feeling inspired with my recent watch through of the show. But let me know what kind of content you'd like to see next, and make sure to leave a like if you've made it this far. And subscribe for more content. Until then, it's been Wavy.